Well, Finance Minister Praveen Gordhan says new technologies like robots threaten to wipe out millions of jobs in the mining sector. Gordhan was addressing industry leaders and urged companies to empower the youth and reskill their workers. Of course, all of this comes ahead of the State of the Nation address, in which President Jacob Zuma is expected to address the job situation tomorrow. Let's discuss this with Deloitte's Mark Casey, who joins us in studio. Mark, very welcome. Thanks very much for coming in. How is the introduction of technology into the workplace likely to affect ordinary South Africans and their jobs?
Well, Joanne, it's already doing that in many, many ways, and not just even in the workplace and from a job point of view, but even just in general life and lifestyle and from a social point of view. I think we're going to see, in terms of step changes or things that are perhaps different to what we're seeing in terms of just progression. Certainly, robotics, artificial intelligence, and the improvement to efficiencies and effectiveness of many processes is going to make a difference in the workplace. Many people see this as a massive threat, but in fact, a lot of these developments create some of the jobs that don't even exist today, for which we need to develop some new skills and capabilities for our talent in South Africa. You just need to look back over hundreds of years ago when the printing press came along. Scribes were out of business, but then a whole printing and publishing industry emerged. When computers started off, that created an ICT industry that spawned businesses that didn't exist then, but are worth billions of dollars today. So I think positive in the long term.
Let me ask you this. In a situation like mining, for example, an industry like that, where you're taking workers who are very involved in manual labor, for example, how do you equip those workers when they've been given no other formal education to engage in exercises involving robotics, for example, that require a certain level of literacy, computer literacy at very least?
Well, there's perhaps two dimensions of that. The first is with the advancement of Internet of Things, IoT devices. First of all, the jobs and the safety of workers right now is being improved all the time. So both healthcare and safety and, death preventing situations. So that's an important thing. Yes, some jobs will get replaced by automation, but the machinery that, for instance, that is now performing the tasks that used to be done manually still needs to be maintained. There's still many jobs, artisan type work, nurses, even entrepreneurs in the type of industry, doesn't matter which one you pick, that can emerge from situations where people no longer are doing traditional basic processes. It's good for South Africa to be challenged. It's good for workers to be put into situations where there is a need for development and training. Government must step in, and the private sector too, and together to create new skills for the future.
How good are both those sectors at helping ordinary workers make that transition? Because clearly you must be able to anticipate we will be bringing in these kinds of robotics. Are they proactive at ensuring their staff are skilled timeously to be able to carry out these more advanced?
It's never fast enough. It's like, what role is government playing? Is the intention there? Sure it is. Is, policy and thinking and even budget? Yes. Execution is always an issue. And in fact, in many emerging markets, South Africa is no exception, the ability to execute quickly and make changes is the biggest challenge. So I don't think it's good enough yet. I don't think it's fast enough. And we just need to keep the pressure on. South Africa right now, the biggest issue we face is the digital dividend that doesn't exist yet. The fact that we haven't migrated from analog to digital is a huge hurdle or impediment for the future. We all know that it's the infrastructure that's going to allow the country to be set alight economically. It's been proven time and time again all over the world. We did a study with Facebook on what would it mean in emerging markets if internet penetration was like the developed world. There's a 25% uplift in productivity that's going to be secured through internet penetration levels like experienced in the developed world. In fact, individual incomes would climb to at least $600 per person. And that's going to take around the world 160 million people out of poverty. Now, that's a really important step. Now, clearly that would affect South Africa in a very positive way. So the digital dividend isn't just about free spectrum up and let the mobile network operators provide better and faster services in Central. It's all about uplifting economically through digital the country and the people in the country.
It's a very positive outlook. Thank you so much for coming into
Thanks, Joanne. Pleasure.
Very good hearing that perspective. Mark Casey is from Deloitte.